All right, all right, all right. 1, 2, 1, 2. I thought I was going to speak just before. It would have been great to speak just after Clément from France Crypto because he chilled my project so much. So thanks to him, and thanks for everyone being there. And congrats again on the organization, on the NFC crew. It's really a great conference. Here's my talk. Comet: Are games the new NFT galleries? Oh, clicker. What? Okay. Very nice to meet you. My name is Jerome. I'm the founder and CEO of Comet. It's a blockchain video studio, or a video game studio for blockchain. Basically, we bring games to the blockchain and blockchain to the game. You can find me on social media here. We have a booth here, so come and say hi. We have cool t-shirts to give away and nice stickers. I have the pleasure of being the president of Ethereum France, so I'm hosting ETHCC, a conference in July. If you haven't put that in your agenda yet, please do. It's going to be a great conference. Next wave of tickets for HCC is the 6th of April. And if you come at our booth, you can redeem one of those cool NFTs. This is the frozen croissant we did for NFT Paris. And this is the frozen pastillas we did for NFC Lisbon. So, I just said it. We run games on blockchain and blockchain on games. This is a footage of our previous games. It's an RTS game, so real-time strategy, where you control a spaceship and you have to position yourself in space by interacting with other players. One of the feedback we got from our players was, we want to fight each other. We want to be fighting each other. We want to wage war. Like, when can we do that? So we decided to build a new game. So various footage of this game. Here you have the staking system with the big tubes. We have a DEX. We used to have a shop. We sold that now. And you have different spaces. You can jump from one to another and have different game experience. So this game, this talk is called Are games going to be NFT galleries? And here's a question for you. What do almost every NFT collections have in common? They are PFPs. Yeah, good one. No, they all have that in their roadmap. Q4, we're going to release a video game. And people get super excited. Oh, wow, I love the PFPs. And they're going to release a video game, right? Well, building up a video game is hard. When you want to build a video game, and especially if you want to build a video game on blockchain, you will face lots and lots and lots of hiccups. First off, building a video game is a bit like building or producing a movie. But the difference with movies is that you need to have lots of developers that are rebuilding the camera every time. So sometimes they can hire or rent a camera. They can use a graphic engine such as Unreal or Unity and so on. But suddenly they need to plug the blockchain in this. It's super tough. And if you haven't been preparing yourself enough, you end up in a situation where people have merely an idea of what kind of movie it's going to be, so you do a lot of back and forth, and you can solve that by saying, I'm going to engage my community. Well, hopefully the community is still there when you engage them. Ideally, you have a game design document, but that requires preparation, and usually on the white paper or the website of the NFT collection is just, hey, we're building a game. Well, what kind of game? We don't know yet. Maybe it's going to be the metaverse. So everybody is going to enjoy this social experience of a game. But yeah, what's up? And if you want to produce a game, there is probably a funding issue. So if you're selling your NFTs like 0.1 ETH and you are selling 10,000 of it, well, do the math. Hopefully you stay in the top 50, even the top 100, or even the top 200 of OpenSea or any big marketplace. And you can probably do a little bit more funding with your secondary volume. But typically, if you want to produce an indie game, it's going to cost a couple of hundreds of dollars. If you want to produce a Class A, more likely in the $1 million range. AA, $20 million range. AAA, well, $100 million potentially. So it's a tough business. But we are all here because we believe in NFTs, we believe in blockchain, and we believe that it's going to bring a new experience to the players. And when you look at it from an ideal perspective, you kind of feel like it's a Web3 paradise. It's a gamer Web3 paradise because you have an interoperable way to connect with your easy-to-use wallet. So that's a technical problem, getting wallets easy to use. You have your 0x address or your .eth address as your username. So that's cool. That's a username you can port from one place to another. It's very handy and very practical. When you connect to a game, suddenly the games read everything you've done. They know that you finished Far Cry, they know that you liked GTA, they know that you liked unpacking, they know that you like anything. And they also read all of your NFTs so they can customize your experience. But customizing the experience is actually a very, very hard part from a game development perspective. As a player, you tend to enjoy your overpriced JPEGs. Yeah, I got my Bored Ape and I can use it as an avatar, or I can maybe use it as a playable character, I don't know. And that's also a design problem for the games. As a publisher, I'm not being evil with the data of my players. Or am I? I don't know. Well, we can hope so. And that's a technical problem as well, because behind the 0x, this is someone I don't know. So am I going to upsell this person? How am I going to know where I should put most of my marketing budget? Well, that's also a technical problem for gaming on blockchain. And lastly, if you are as radical as us, you put everything on the chain, so you let the players own the very smart contract, build whatever front end they want, or even build tools on your game. And in the end, you can trust the chain. You don't have to trust Blizzard to not take off the server. You don't have to trust this guy to not ban you. Everything is on the chain, and you can also benefit from governance, saying, hey, you can fairly interact with us. If you hold a token, if you've done this, if you've done that, you can interact with us and influence the future of the game development. So, feels kind of cool, right? Wow, finally something I can relate to. Well, this is the best NFT game, Smash Bros. Everything is there to feed the narrative, to match any game assets. If you play Smash Bros, you can collect stuff from other games everywhere. If you play Smash Bros, you can play your favorite character from another game in this game. The whole game concept is made to benefit any of the assets it's showing. And when you listen to podcasts or interviews of people saying, yeah, it's the metaverse, but what is the metaverse? Oh, it's like Ready Player One. Well, yeah, well, Smash Bros is Ready Player One that you can actually play. You can do anything in it and you can have fun. But if you do this, like having Mario in Elden Ring, well, sure. Well, if you're producing this game, you are from software, and you're like, well, am I going to let people use Mario in my game? Like, am I going to let people walk around in a red cap and with a pipe and jumping on the boss with the pipe? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you're running something in terms of game experience. So, well adapted, meh, at best, meh. And when you discuss this topic with people from the industry that are not completely against NFTs, they're like, okay, I'm trying very hard not to be against NFTs, but seriously, guys, game assets from other games, they have to be fitted in my graphic engine. How am I going to do that? They have to be cleared from any intellectual properties, otherwise, like, what's up? And finally, I'm doing a game that's happening in a medieval Gothic style, so I don't want anybody to be dressed as a plumber. Well, okay, sure, but that's actually something very tough to handle. If you've been producing NFTs that looks like Mario in the late 80s, it's taking a while till you get to Mario in the year 2000s. Like, there is some actual work to be done in terms of 3D rendering, 2D rendering, and so on. So here we are. Where do we go from here? Well, first step, we have to enhance the NFTs. So there are various things that are in the development right now in terms of standardization on how you bring the proper metadata to your NFTs and how you handle multifaceted NFTs. We had this problem. Our early games was really basic 2D in order to go and ship a game fast and have something that we can play and test. So here on the left you see our first version of NFTs, and we gradually move forward to have things that are better rendered, more beautiful looking on the 2D side, but also that are moving towards 3Ds, because we have one game coming up in a month, and we have two other games shipping in a couple of more months, by the end of the year, so actually. But we want them to become 3D, and also to be integratable in 3D games so that you can use them in 3Ds. Because if you have built a 3D games and suddenly people tell you, like, I want to have NFTs in this game, yeah, but all your NFTs are flat. How am I going to interpret them? Oh yeah, I'm going to build new 3D models, but how am I going to read them? Oh, I have to deal with the metadata of those NFTs and create those multifaceted NFTs. And lastly, build game that served any NFTs. So that's probably the biggest thing that we learned during a year and a half of producing games. You need to have games that have narratives that can be integrated with anything on the chain. Because you don't know who is behind this 0x. You don't know what kind of collections they have. You don't know what kind of things they have. But you can be sure of one thing: if you have a cool NFTs, you want to show it. So here is one of our attempts at doing so. This is actually live footage of the game. You can play it right now, or come at a booth to try it out. In Comet Battle, the new game that we are shipping in a month, you have access to all of your NFTs at any times. You can chat with them, you can showcase them, and you can be chilled to other people's NFTs. And that's really engaging. That's one of the feedback we had from our 2,000 alpha testers, or like, okay, we like to showcase our NFTs, we like to showcase more, we got to do more. This is a way of welcoming any NFT project. If you have an NFT and you come play Comet, your NFTs are showable in the game. And of course, when we discuss with collections or NFT projects that are like, I've put in my roadmap that in Q4 I'm going to have a game and we are very late, well, guys, we are here to help. Okay, you want to be featured, you want to have more things. We try to integrate more people and show more love and more utility to all the NFTs. So here's an example of something we're doing with Blood Machines. Blood Machines is a sci-fi movie, award-winning sci-fi movie that was kickstarted initially and had great success. It's actually super cool if you like sci-fi. Blood Machines is releasing an NFT collection soon to prepare for the new release of their movies. And when you play an NFTs from Blood Machines, you get to completely change the context of the game. So play these NFTs in Comet, you have a special effect, suddenly the background change, the music change, and you are customizing your experience with your NFTs. So that's typically the kind of thing that we like to do and we like to help other games do. Comet is doing a lot of B2C, like we're producing games, but we also help games to become blockchain games, to help them actually integrate blockchain or be more blockchain compatible. Well, I hope I gave you an appetite for what we are doing and you'd like to try it. So please come and see us at our booth. We can give you a demo, we can try your NFTs in the game and try to do something with you. Our public release is imminent. We are in an alpha phase and we whitelist people that come and chat and say, I want to try it out. It's a free-to-play, completely free-to-play. There's no play to earn to whatever. We want to have games that runs on blockchain. That's our first objective, and people to have fun. If there is an economy that's organized around the game, that's even cooler. But our first goal is to make things fun and enjoyable. We have a full light integration with any NFTs, so try it out. Again, you may have surprise on how your NFTs are rendered in the game. And during this alpha phase, we reward our testers. We wanted to make sure we had played at least 20,000 games before releasing, and we are at 15,000, so very close to the release. Now the game is quite balanced, and we hope to run a lot of e-sport competition on our games. We are supported and integrated with various DeFi products. That's another part of the talk and another type of thing that we do. But you are using DeFi products if you want throughout our games. And that's how we get some funding, some support to organize more tournaments and so on. And of course, if you have a NFT collection and you're stuck with your roadmap, let's chat. We can probably help. See you at the shopping district, I hope. And happy to take any questions. Do we have time for questions? I don't know. Yeah? Anyone? So I'm happy to say to NFC that we are going to be, oh yeah, question.
So you mentioned about, I have a question. Keep yours.
Oh, okay.
So you mentioned about Mario going into the medieval worlds, and that would be a problem, right?
Yeah.
But I've also questioned myself about this, and I thought, why not? Some games already have this, like GTA Online, I think they have mods, and then they introduce all kinds of weirds. Maybe you have Shrek around GTA, yeah. You know? So what do you have to say about this mixture of games?
That's a good question. So if you, well, I think it dates back to Resident Evil 1, where when you finished Resident Evil in the top high difficulty and so on, you had access to a meme character called Hank and Tofu. And Tofu was basically a piece of cheese, and you had only the knife to make your way in Resident Evil. So it's been done already a couple of times. In Tekken, you can play a wooden character. It's been done a couple of times that at some point in the game you say, well, hey, here you go. You can play a comic character. You can play something that's completely unrelated to the game just to have fun and to create a new experience, or even a new level of difficulties. So far, it has only been done as something that you give as an achievement. Like you're a player that have been speedrunning the game and you finish the game with this high score and so on. So here's your goofy character you can play in my survival horror game. But not as something that you say, hey, you want to try the game? So here you can play this super cop, Jill Valentine, or this beefy cop, Chris Redfield, or you can play the tofu guy. No. There is a problem from a game narrative perspective that if you give out right in the beginning those kind of goofy character, you are ruining all the works that you've done in terms of creating an immersive world and an immersive content. So the best case is you don't have any immersive content at all, everybody is here to fight. But yeah, put anything you want in here. And that's a problem when you are thinking about integrating something specific and saying, okay, we're okay with Shrek, we're okay with Mario, we're okay with this, but that's an even bigger problem if you say, we're okay with anything. So if it's just an NFT that we can interpret, we're okay. It takes a lot to create something that is general purpose enough to welcome anything, actually. But I think we'll get there. There's, we miss a 0 to 1 revolution, one more, and we'll get there in terms of design. At least what we can do to streamline this and accelerate that is creating multifaceted assets that can be easily interpreted anywhere. I'm a strong believer in this approach.
Thank you. I actually have another question, which goes, what about the interoperability between games? Because from a technical point of view, I've talked with developers that said this is super difficult and poses many problems. So
the problem starts here. Look, when you are playing Comet on the bottom left corner, when you're playing Comet and you click on the NFT button, we are reading your address and reading your address on multiple chains, and then listing all the NFTs that you have, and then fetching all of the image of those NFTs, and then letting you display those images. This is a headache, because there is no standardization on how to put the metadata. There are a couple of companies that have tried to, standardize how it's done, or giving you direct access to how it's done, but there's no perfect solution yet. We are building one with a couple of partners, and if you are interested in using it, we will happily guide you in this direction. But just the fact that you are fetching an NFT and showing it, it's a nightmare. So that's the first problem for the NFT part. And it's kind of okay when you are just fetching the NFT on a 0x something that's EVM compatible, like just querying all the EVM chains and getting something out of it. But now people have NFTs on Solana, on Tezos, on whatever fancy non-EVM chains they have. So it creates the need to also handle a player profile. So typically there's a migration that needs to happen to .eth names, where I'm Jerome.mus.eth. It's one of my ENS names. I'm going to list my Bitcoin, my Ethereum, my Tezos, and my Solana address, so that when I log in with one of those addresses on whatever games, even if it's not the right chain, they can see that it's Jerome.mus.eth, and that's all of the address that he claimed, and that's all of the NFTs I need to show. There's a lot of wiring, a lot of plumbing to be done, to be honest. But we are lucky to be using we are lucky to be relying at first on the Ethereum ecosystem, and by us, I mean the whole NFT ecosystem first emerged from Ethereum, and what Ethereum is really good at is building those kind of public goods infrastructure work. So it will move pretty fast, I think. And I've seen a couple of people submitting talks about that at HCC, so maybe we'll have some good news in July. Yeah. One last question, or out of time? All right, well, we're out of time anyway. Happy to talk again. Come and meet us at our booth. We are in the shopping district with nothing to sell, but t-shirts and stickers to give away, so come and say hi. Cheers, everyone. Thank you.